Well, hello, welcome back. This is week 2, and I'm still in front of the fireplace because this too is about your ideal client, not so much about you. And if you understand this, we're going to take you another step further in helping you build the business you truly want to own. Now, last week we had a question, and I hope you took the time and found an answer to that question. If you didn't, on this webpage is a link that takes you back to video segment 1. And I really tell you, you need to answer that week's question. This week, we deal with a different group of people, but continuing on the same theme of really being able to market our services more effectively. So, last week, we talked about creating instant desire. What do you do, and how do you get in front of those people who don't have instant desire, no matter what you do or say? And in order to do that, I want to answer another question for you that you may have, or you should have, in order to be an effective marketer. And that is, why do people buy from whom they buy? That's right. Why do people buy from whom? Last week, we talked about why do people buy when they buy. Now, let's talk about why do people buy from whom they buy. So it's a very interesting thing. And whether life decides for them, whether they decide for themselves, whether, in essence, you help them to decide, it's still the same process. And it a little bit depends on the dollar value of the sale, but the bottom line is, there are 2 ways people decide from whom they will buy. The first way is based on what I call technical differences. And that's where somebody goes out. Let's say they want to buy a stereo system, or a high-def television system with a stereo. Even saying stereo system makes me sound old, doesn't it? High-def video system is what they want, with a Wii or a Xbox attachment to it. That's what they want to buy. Technical differences would mean they search the internet, and they find all the stores that sell those within an acceptable travel distance, or the way they best want to order it. So if they want to order it online, that's a technical difference that many of us can't offer. You can't order from us online. Well, that's a technical difference. What they're really looking for is price, terms, conditions, things like that. Those are technical differences. So what happened to me once was I got a flat tire, and I called the places closest to where I live to see who had the best price on the tire that fit my car. And I went there and I bought my tire. That's a technical difference. If someone's buying a house, one of the conditions on it for them might be they need a mortgage. They're going to get their mortgage from the company probably that offers them the lowest interest rates and the fewest points. So, because it costs them less. Again, it's about price. Technical differences is great if you're a big company and you spend millions of dollars so people know you exist. Technical differences doesn't work for me, because most people who wake up deciding they want a book on finances, they don't even know I exist. And I'm never going to spend the kind of money so they will know. So for me, I love way number 2, that people decide from whom they will buy from. And that decision process is much, much more personal. And it's based on a pre-existing relationship, or at least a referral from someone who had a pre-existing relationship. So what happens is that one day someone finds out that Mark Delaney exists, and that he sells books that they may have an interest in, or that he does business coaching, or he builds websites and does videos. And over the course of the time from the day they first met me, or the day they visited my website, or the day someone said, you ought to check out Mark Delaney, they have gone through a process directed by me where they know I exist, they come to know more about me, they come to trust me. In other words, they know I'm not going to steal their money, that if I charge them for something, I'm going to give it my best effort to give them their money's worth. That's trust. What's more significant is they come to believe in me. And they come to believe that I can deliver the services that I offer. They come to believe I can solve their problems or provide them their desires. And when that happens, they make a decision in their mind. They don't tell me this, but they say, when I'm ready for that, when I need a book on that, when I need a website, when I need a blog, when I need something, Mark Delaney is my guy. I'm going to go with him when I'm ready. They might not be ready for months, but when they're ready, I have to ruin it to keep them from using me. And what happens is that what happened to me a couple of weeks ago, a guy named Tim picks up the phone on a Sunday afternoon and he calls me up, and I was really surprised to hear from him, and he says, Mark, I want a blog. Help me build a blog. And he said, how much is it? I gave him a price. He said, okay. The price wasn't based on me versus somebody else. It was, can he afford it? Is it reasonable? And I built him a blog. And that blog is something I built for him because over the course of time, he knew I existed. He came to know me personally. He came to trust me. And he came to believe that I could help him with his blog. And so he calls me. And who knows what else will come of that. But that's a process that happens. And it can't happen if you meet someone, give them your business card, and walk away. So understand, there are two ways people decide from whom they're going to buy from. One, technical differences. I'm going to tell you, technical differences always cost you money. Being the lowest priced means you're also the least profitable. Being based on location or some other technical difference means you really can't control it unless it's very expensive. So if you work for a small unknown company, chances are you can't compete in being known, but you can compete on building a relationship, helping that person come to know you, trust you, believe in you, and make the decision on their own that you're the one for them. And I will tell you that those customers are more loyal. They repeat their business more because when they need something else, they don't have to shop around. They just come to you. Now, it is possible to be a big company and still build that relationship. My father has a relationship with Best Buy that is beyond belief. If he needs something electronic, he doesn't shop around. He goes to Best Buy. One day, I showed up at his house. No, actually, I take that back. One day, I'm talking to my mother on the phone, and she's like, I won't tell you what your father did. And you could just hear and see the smiles in the background. Well, my father bought a 3D 42 or 46-inch TV, complete with a Blu-ray player, a second television, and 3 DVDs. 3D DVDs. Oh, excuse me. 3D Blu-ray movies for $2,400. He was so proud. He bought it from Best Buy without shopping. He was in the store. They did something interesting. They combined last week's information with this week's information. So they had the pre-existing relationship with him. He's in the store, and then because of the package they put together, they created instant desire for him to buy something he didn't wake up that morning thinking he was going to buy. I will tell you, take advantage of what I just shared with you. Building a relationship, getting them to know you, to trust you, to believe in you will make you a fortune. Because people will call you, and you can sit by your phone and wait for it to ring more assuredly and not have to make so many phone calls out getting people to want to buy from you. That's this week's message. The question then is, how do you do that? How can you develop a system to build a relationship with the people you meet who the timing is not right so that when they are ready, they will know you, they will trust you, they will believe in you, and they will use you when they're ready to buy your products or service? If you take the time to answer that question, you're going to be amazed at over time how your business changes. Because again, when people are calling you, offering you their money, that's a lot easier than going out and asking them for money. How do you build a system that allows you to create relationships with those people who would benefit from your product or services from the time you meet them until the day they're ready to buy, so they decide you're the one for them? This is your friend, Mark Delaney, helping you build the business you truly want to own. And I look forward to seeing you next week.